Okay, I'm here in Washington, D.C., but I have to say that I did leave my hard hat at home. But it is time to get it back out. But D.C. should be pretty safe, don't you think? I mean, they should have some kind of protection bubble around here, I would hope. Anyway, hey, stick around for a little while. I got something to say about the safest period in aviation history. I'm not so sure that's true, but we'll talk about it. Hey, another meteorite has hit the Earth. This one about 2 feet in diameter, about the size of a Pembroke Corgi, the Queen's dog, the late Queen's dog, and weighed about 1,000 pounds. It hit Texas. That is massive. And it wasn't the only one. There was one that hit France and Italy in like a 3-day span. But hey, these things kind of break up. There's pieces that fall to Earth, and if you find a piece, don't call NASA. They don't want that stuff. It's the Smithsonian. Who knew? The Smithsonian collects that stuff to learn about the solar system and evolution. I thought that was pretty cool. But hopefully, NASA takes heed. We need Earth protection. And so hopefully they're paying attention to this kind of thing, because it seems to be happening more and more. Meteorites aren't the only things falling from the sky. Tails from airplanes can fall from the sky. United States Air Force grounded 200 KC-135. That's the fuel trucks of the United States Air Force. They fuel fighters and bombers and other fuel trucks so that they can keep flying. Part of our protection system. But they're pretty old, like 70-something years old. They've been running them off the assembly line since the 50s. So these old things, hey, come to find out, there's something called a tail pin, and if it's not installed correctly, the tail can fall off. Who knew? But I'll tell you, even my $7 hard hat isn't going to help in that situation. That's pretty serious. Anyway, they're going through quick inspections. It takes about 30 minutes, and what they found is they found 12 of them so far that had that problem, but they're fixed, so we should be safe. But I will tell you that it is unfortunate, but tails do fall off. An American Airlines jet, an Airbus 300, back in 2001, just 2 months after September 11th, tail did fall off and it crashed in Queens. Excessive rudder inputs and things like that tore it apart and ripped the vertical stabilizer off. All 260 people passed, along with 5 people on the ground. So falling from the sky is a pretty serious thing. Got to pay attention to those things. I'm glad the Air Force took it seriously, protecting us all, even if you don't have a hard hat. And we all know about the meltdown. Southwest left about 1 million passengers stranded, and the Department of Transportation has launched an investigation, and they're going to look into that. And the United Airlines CEO is complaining about other airlines that they actually sell tickets that other airlines sell tickets that they can't really participate in, and the Department of Transportation is going to look into that. And of course, they're going to look at themselves about what are they doing in all this process. But don't complain too much, unless you want to find yourself walking. United Airlines has made 2 very quiet changes to their contract of carriage. That long list of stuff that you just hit, sure, I agree, and I bought the ticket. But in there's a couple things. One is that if you get a fare that's free, and they didn't mean to do it, they don't owe you anything. That's too bad. It's just an administrative error. But there's the one that's really important, that if you buy a ticket that you know is going to be delayed, and you can look online in the OAG about what's going to be delayed, and it gets delayed, you can't keep using that to get compensation for it. So if you use the data at hand to get compensated, you're going to get burned. And that's what's kind of interesting here, is that you're just taking advantage of the situation. Well, they can ban you from that airline because you complain too much. Wow, I think we need a hotline for that. But a while back, the Supreme Court ruled that you cannot sue an airline for that breach of contract, only for what you signed up for in their contract with them. So that kind of makes sense, but it still sounds like the passengers are getting a pretty raw deal. And don't forget, part of that raw deal is when they cancel the airline and you're on the air side of things at the airport, you are no longer a passenger, you are trespassing, and like Southwest did, they can call the cops on you for trespassing. Yeah, when does the passenger come first? Hopefully pretty soon. It's time to revisit and rewrite some of these old rules so that it protects us. We're the ones paying the bill. We've been hearing a lot about the safest period in aviation. And that sounds okay, but it is one heck of a bottom line. No one has died in the U.S. That is not a cool metric. That is too morbid a thought that is what we're using to decide that we made it safely to our destination. We lived, but I'm not sure we made it safely. We've had 3 near collisions that we know about. We have balloons flying in the NAS that apparently we didn't know anything about. And we're calling it a safe period in our history. The tried and true is the National Airspace System isn't working for us anymore. The things that we banked on for many decades, the process, procedures, systems, and technology are failing us. And it's time to recognize that. It is time to look forward to what we need to be safe as a society and stop looking in the rearview mirror about how good we did. Basically, how good we lucked out. It's time to stop lucking out, and it's time to start looking forward. We need to do the right thing in the right way before it's too late. Thanks for joining me. It's a beautiful day here in DC. It's absolutely incredibly warm. Like and subscribe if you want to hear more. We'll see you next time. United Airlines has made a couple, the tried and true that is the NASA.